Here we have a wonderful video by Uncle Ruckus, aka Jesse Lee Peterson. Uh, Video title is Little White Rabbit welcomes to melting pot. Doesn't realize he's prey. The caller talks about being in favor of the inclusivity of the United States, allowing various ethnics of people to come together and meld and cultures blend and stuff. And Jesse Lee Peterson says that he's being hunted by them. It's just kind of hilarious how racist this dude is, how much he hates anybody that is not white. Let's take a gander at what he says.
As a straight white male, I do not feel like I'm under attack.
You are. Kevin, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Good morning, Jesse.
How you doing, Kevin?
I am doing very well, sir. How are you?
All is well.
Yes, I wanted to comment about what you were saying yesterday about immigration, whether we should close the front and the back door.
Oh, yes.
I believe that America was founded as a melting pot nation, and it's to the benefit of everyone to form a inclusive society, from the first inclusive society, to see the benefits from cultures around the world. So being as once here, they all assimilate, recognize the history, the language, and form a national pride. And,
where you from? Where are you from, Thomas?
I'm from right next to Gary. I talked to you a couple times.
I mean, Kevin, did you move here from another country?
No, I'm born right here in Northwest Indiana.
How old are you?
For some reason, to want to having to be inclusive and have cultures meld, you gotta, for some reason, be from another nation, because I guess Uncle Ruckus here believes that all people in America believe that everybody should be segregated from each other.
I am 30.
Why do you sound like a liberal when you use the word inclusive? America was never meant to be an inclusive society. That's dumb.
Okay, yeah, we've maybe not in the very beginning, can't really say about that. But yeah, America is an inclusive society. The Statue of Liberty talks about bringing your poor, your your huddled masses and the such, welcoming, refugees and immigrants from all over to be able to come to America and make something of themselves. The fact that he believes otherwise is just it shows his own ignorance. I mean, Jesse Lee Peterson has talked before about how much he hates education and educated people, even saying that educated women are like bad wives and stuff. So this guy prides himself on being ignorant.
A man is not supposed to speak like a liberal. What happened to you? Hold on, Kevin. I gotta take a bottom of the hour break. Back in a moment. That's girl. I wonder if Kevin went to college. Hey, Kevin.
Oh, this is gonna be funny. Yeah, this shows how much he hates college-educated people, calling them brainwashed. So anybody that goes to college is a quote-unquote liberal who is brainwashed. It just shows how much he hates actual education.
Kevin, did you graduate from college or something?
Yes, sir, I did.
Oh, they brainwash you.
I know we talked about this before.
Why don't you overcome the brainwashing?
Like I heard you say a few days ago that only dumb people get degrees or
Right.
smart people. Well, I was thinking, well, what if it's
Only dumb people get degrees. So Uncle Ruckus believes that if you got a degree, you're dumb and brainwashed. So what does I'm assuming he does not himself have a degree in anything. So he just prides himself in being uneducated and ignorant. Somehow that's supposed to be a good thing. I don't understand.
people who are naturally have a thirst for knowledge are the ones that go and seek the degree.
Right. That's what make them dumb. They need to overcome that thirst for knowledge and seek the kingdom of God in His right way, and then they will have real wisdom.
Okay, that's hilarious. That is so hilarious. Okay, he believes people that seek knowledge are dumb, brainwashed, and the only way to overcome your brainwashing is by subscribing to a mythos that is pretty much all about brainwashing people. This shows how brainwashed he is and how ignorant he is to believe that seeking education is somehow bad, though being some kind of Bible thumping racist believer is what people need to do in order to have a functioning society. Oh, I mean, it's no real surprise why he believes what he does, since this is something that he believes. Um, he's probably raised up in a really religious household where they constantly talked about how bad education was and how evil the education system was. So he started priding himself on being ignorant and being a Bible thumper. It's just pure ignorance and pure hatred this guy just prides himself on.
To guide them in life, and their real talent would come out, and they couldn't be brainwashed by the world, the world of knowledge, because the world of knowledge is death, is doomed.
Oh my god, the world of knowledge is death. So anybody that seeks any kind of knowledge is a bad person. So why is this guy doing anything that he's trying to do instead of just keeping his nose in the Bible? Because he still seeks some knowledge by trying to quote unquote educate people on the truth of whatever he believes it is. And it's just another kind of a mind explosion how somebody can actually be this way in 2019, to be so prideful of ignorance and stupidity.
Okay, well, I guess the point that I was trying to bring up was, our founding
Are you
fathers-
white? Are you white, Kevin?
Yes, I'm a straight white Christian.
Well, do you know that inclusiveness doesn't mean you? White people are not allowed to be included.
Included in what? I mean, what, in America? Because majority of the United States is white people. Kind of changing, but it's still mostly white people. So, I mean, it's yeah, white people are included all the time. Look at our government. Look at, fucking jobs and stuff. White people are all over the place. Look at the world. White people are included.
As a straight white male, I do not feel like I'm under attack.
You are. Say something that goes against them. They would call you white supremacists. They would call you white supremacists. They would call you a Nazi. They would call you everything but a child of God.
Okay, if you're a Nazi, you're a Nazi. There's no doubt about that. believe white people are superior, if you believe in some kind of white ethno state, if you hate anybody of any other skin tone but white people, I mean, you don't, well, in my opinion, you don't technically have to like worship Hitler and stuff and be a German supremacist, all about, a German ethno state. But if you have the similar ideologies, you're pretty much a Nazi.
Well, in the world today, there's people everywhere that are looking for anybody to say anything.
I know, but white people in these people's mind, you are not included. That's why you're not able to tell them the truth. Have you noticed that you're not able to be honest with those people?
Wait, honest with liberals or with black people? I'm thinking he's probably meaning both. And what his truth is probably that black people are immoral and that liberals are brainwashed, and if you say that, you get frowned upon and stuff. It's he just wants to be able to, say a bunch of racist stuff and not, people get mad at him. That's his problem. He wants to be racist and not get some backlash and suffer consequences over it. So now he feels like white people aren't included in a bunch of BS because this guy has like a secret fantasy of being white and hates being black, which is why he talks so bad about black people. I mean, there's a good number of black people that hate blacks and see that white people are superior. It's just crazy.
I am honest to the best of my ability to everyone I come in contact with.
Well, that means
without
you.
being offensive.
I'm sorry?
I said I am as honest as I can be with everyone I come in contact to without being overly offensive.
I bet you won't be honest with the blacks and the homosexuals and the lesbians.
God, what's with this weird... I sometimes when I think he has some kind of tick problem, but it's just this weird thing he has to do, yell out certain words like what he did, lesbians and beta. It's like he thinks screaming is, makes his point correct when all it does is just show more stupidity on his part. I mean, seriously, you don't have to yell in order to make a point if you actually have a point, which he doesn't have any points. All he wants to do is spew hatred. That's all he does is spew hatred about people.
Oh, yeah. I've known many of all of the above.
There's no such thing as being overly offensive. That doesn't exist. That's another liberal, girly word.
A person can go out of their way to offend someone. Anyway.
No, you can't. All the people that can be offended are weak people. If you're not a weak person, you cannot be offended.
No, that's just total bullshit right there. I mean, you can be... Well, his idea of, strong people are straight white Christian males who are probably stoic and never show any kind of emotion whatsoever. And the moment you show any kind of emotion, you're a beta male who is raised by his mom.
No, I mean a person can go out of their way to try and offend someone.
But it's easy to offend inclusive people and sensitive people and all that.
Yes, and also I do agree with Bill Maher that I do believe that this whole PC culture has gone a little bit too far.
Right. But what were you about to say about letting these people come in?
Well, I was going to say that the founding fathers, they wanted to set up a nation which would benefit from having a melting pot nation. And for all of these people to come in and participate and partake in a nation of equality where everyone has the same equal rights and could participate in government and civic duties But obviously, I mean, it's not a perfect world, and it didn't happen that way. But the basic principles of the founding fathers was to set up a melting pot nation separate from church and state.
That's not true.
And this was the
That's
first
not true,
and only-
Kevin. Kevin, that's not true.
Okay, is all he's gonna say is that's not true, and like give no supporting arguments against anything. All he wants people to do is believe him at his word. I mean, yeah, it didn't actually happen the way that the founding fathers of the United States wanted it to, but yeah, the Constitution says that all people are created equal with certain inalienable rights, and that there is a separation of church and state, which they wanted to try to create due to the fact that the place that they did came from had a more theocratic government, and they weren't really fond of a theocratic government, which is why a lot of the founding fathers argued about, if there should be some kind of theocratic government, which they were pretty much against. If I remember, Thomas Jefferson, took out a lot of the Bible and made it more secular. Basically, took out all the extremely religious stuff and kept all the good moral stuff. There was a number of them that were deist, so they didn't believe in a Christian hierarchy, but they did believe in a higher power. And I think there are some that were a bit more atheist. I can't remember exactly, but yeah, the person that is wrong is Uncle Ruckus over here, who thinks that everybody should take him for his word. And I wonder why if he's black, and black people are this immoral group of people, why is he trying to sit here trying to act like he's some kind of moral person? That doesn't really matter. Just harkens back to another video. But let's keep going.
If you look at Thomas Jefferson, his letter to the Dansbury Bastard,
Okay, this guy's gonna talk about Thomas Jefferson. That's good. Did not think he was going to.
Dansbury Baptist Association. That seems to be what he's saying.
No.
I don't want to.
Kevin, why would you agree with a person like Bill Maher? He is a liberal atheist, and you said you are a Christian.
No, I said I agreed with him when he said that the politically correct culture is getting out of control.
Oh, okay. And have you noticed that separation of church and state never appeared in the Constitution?
Article 6 of the Constitution, no religious test shall ever be required.
Where is the separation of church and state?
He just pointed it out. That is the separation of church and state. The fact that our government cannot require anybody to be of a certain religion to be able to hold any power in office, any position, any form of position in office. So, our government cannot say, oh, because you're a Muslim, you can't have this position, or because you're an atheist, you can't have this position, or because you're whatever belief system, you cannot have a certain position. That is the separation of church and state. But because Uncle Ruckus here does not like that answer, he's basically going to ignore it altogether.
In the Constitution.
The Establishment Clause and free exercise of the First Amendment.
I'm sorry?
In the First Amendment, the Establishment Clause and free exercise.
Do you agree that America is a Christian nation?
I believe that America holds a majority of Christian folks, which I am one, but I also believe that the United States of America was the first government established with no national religion.
Do you believe that America is a Christian nation?
See, this is what he does. If you give him an answer that you don't like, he asks a second time, a third time, and a fourth time, until he either gets tired of asking the question, or the other person gets tired of giving their answer. Just because somebody gives an answer you don't like does not mean it is not it doesn't mean that the answer given is not an answer. Um, it's just so annoying when people do that. I've had people do that a lot to me, ask me a question, I give an answer, and then they're like, oh, let's ask again. And it's like, I gave you an answer. Just because you don't like it does not mean it's not an answer.
It's a mixed nation.
Is America a Christian nation?
There we go, a third time.
Not entirely.
Did we start out being a Christian nation?
No.
I mean, I can't go back and look at the stats.
Kevin, you've been brainwashed. You don't know it.
You've been brainwashed. He wants to use the no true Scotsman fallacy. Oh, because you don't believe the way I do, you cannot be a Christian. No, that doesn't work. This is one problem with Jesse Lee Peterson. He falls prey to a lot of different fallacies and thinks that it works. It's either his belief or it's the highway. My way or the highway. He's such an Uncle Ruckus. Uncle Ruckus is a character from Boondocks, if no one knows. It was a guy that hated black people, loved white people, and also was extremely Christian, just like this dude. This is why I call him Uncle Ruckus.
Well, I know I was born a Catholic, but now I'm a Christian now.
No, you're not. You've been brainwashed. And so, are you saying that it was freedom of religion or freedom from religion?
No, freedom of religion.
No.
Everyone in this country has the freedom.
It's freedom of and from religion. You have both. You are free to believe in whatever batshit, insane, crazy thing you want, or you're free to reject those ideas and live a more skeptic/secular lifestyle. It's not one or the other, but he can't see it that way because he has this crazy black or white mentality that you're either this Christian conservative that's perfect and good, or you're this liberal non-Christian who's out to set the devil upon the world.
But
To practice any religion they wish without persecution.
But Kevin, you've been brainwashed, man. Where your daddy?
Oh, okay. So he's gonna start bringing in stuff about his mom and stuff. Oh, since you believe this way, your mom must have brainwashed you into believing it. He's extremely misogynistic as well. Women are bad. Men are good. If you're, certain men, if you're white, conservative, Christian, male, you're perfect. If you're an educated woman of any skin tone, you're a bad person.
He retired from Inland Steel, and now he lives in Arizona is playing golf.
I used to work at Inland Steel. I worked there for 2 weeks.
2 weeks, who cares?
But Kevin, you've been brainwashed. You need to go and get de-brainwashed.
If you
Because you hate it, man. You are surrendering your country to the enemies of America.
And he believes the enemies are the liberals and anybody that's not white and Christian.
Okay, if you could indulge me.
Do you understand that?
I saw this earlier.
Do you understand that, Kevin?
I hear what you're saying.
And you are the very first one that they're going to run out of your own country.
No.
I want you to remember South Africa. The white people are enslaved to the blacks now.
Oh my god, he wants to say enslaved? No, that is not what is going on whatsoever. Man, I bet he is a believer in white genocide. Oh my god, if he is, I would so love that because it would be so freaking funny. A black person that believes in white genocide. Oh my God.
In South Africa, the land had been taken away without compensation. They have been murdered, raped, and robbed in their own home. If you continue to be weak-minded, that's what's going to happen to you. They don't like white people.
They don't like white people? Okay, you're a black person. Why are you talking to white people if black people hate white people? This Oh wait, yeah, because he thinks he's a white person. This is It's freaking funny though how he claims black people hates white people, and he's a black person that constantly talks to white people all the time and claims he loves everybody. So right then and there, he's going against his own racist ideas of black people hating white people.
What's wrong with
Well,
you, man?
Ain't no one taking my stuff, I tell you that.
Do you smoke pot?
Nope, never have.
Oh, good. You drink?
Only when I'm thirsty.
Do you drink alcohol?
On occasion, only every now and then.
Put down the bottle.
Okay, but if you can indulge me, I have just one more quick question.
Okay.
I saw this yesterday. I do watch Fox News as well as MSNBC and CNN. I like to get the whole picture. But I saw something yesterday that in the city of Philadelphia.
Uh-huh.
So the city government has established these little sanctuary sites for clean, free drug injection users. Where
Right.
they can, drug users can go and get clean needles and inject.
Right. They want you brainwashed, dumbed down, and demoralized. The world is doomed, so they want to pull you in and everybody else in order to destroy you and control you.
No, those clean injection sites are to help decrease the amount of diseases that are passed by needle use, as well as help prevent overdoses of people, dying from taking too much, and have a safer place to go to do it. It's not to dumb down and control people, it's to make safer areas for people, as well as a place to dispose of those needles so that they're not all over the place like in some areas. This is the problem. This is what happens when people are uneducated. You get people like Jesse Lee Peterson, who goes around and spouts a bunch of bullshit and hatred and racism towards people, and just makes up whatever the fuck they want and try to convince people that it's true. It's just, I can't wait for people like this to not ever exist anymore. Maybe another few hundred years, maybe 1,000 years, but when that day comes, I am gonna be long dead, but there's gonna be a whole lot more happiness in the world.
And you're falling for it.
So I was just curious how you felt about that.
I don't think they should be giving out any needles at all. People need to overcome, not get deeper into the hell that they're in.
Now, I had a conversation with a buddy of mine, and we talked about this at length, and he brought up a point. If you're a lot of the opiates, well, first of all, a lot of people that do heroin in the country now
Yes.
started on prescription opiates that they got from their doctors, they got from Walgreens and CVS, and all of a sudden they couldn't afford their prescriptions, so then they go and get, the crappy heroin being sold in the corners, and then they go under a bridge and start doing it. So
That is a
said to
point
me,
there.
Well, what if this person, instead of using a dirty needle, went under the bridge and then OD'd or got hepatitis or God knows what? If he went to this injection site for a few months and then had friends or family or medical help get to him, and then he got clean, and he said, you know what? If it wasn't for that safe injection site, I would have been dead. But because of that, it gave me the opportunity to see the errors of my ways or the destructive behavior of my actions. That was the only thing that I kind of was mixed about.
And so, what's your question for me about that?
So do you think it would be okay if some person in Philadelphia, instead of going under the bridge and doing dirty needles, went into the safe injection site? I mean, I'm not promoting drug use by any means, but rather than doing dirty needles, went to a clean place, got professional help, medical assistance, and found his way out of it. And he said, you know what? If it wasn't for that safe injection site, I would probably be dead.
And so, what's your question for me?
Yeah, I think he's trying to say, do you think that kind of idea is good? But yeah, safe injection sites is a great way for people to help them get off of addiction, because it gives them a place to be around healthcare individuals who would be able to uh, help them get off of drug use. You gotta slowly wean yourself off of it. And the point he made earlier that a lot of the opioid users are people who were taking prescription medication and then were taken off of it because of various, laws being passed, making it stricter on opioid use. So these people would have to, then go out onto the streets and find something else to be able to deal with the pain or the addiction that they have developed, because opioid pills are highly addictive. Um, and one of the major problems of the opioid addiction that's going on is the pharmaceutical companies producing so much and doctors prescribing so much. It's, a multi-billion-dollar industry. And when, they first came out, people didn't really realize how bad of it was, or the addictiveness of the medication was kind of brushed under the rug for profit. But the only way of helping these people get off of the opioid addiction is by giving them places they can go to and have medical professionals talk to them and stuff. A support group is better than no support group. If you have somebody there to help you when you need help, you're more likely to get off of it than if you don't have somebody around to help you.
I'm just trying to figure out, like, are you completely, totally against trying this safe injection site
Yes.
option?
Yes. It's best to let him go under the bridge and suffer, and maybe he'll cry out to God and overcome.
Oh, this guy is so sick and twisted. It's better for these people to suffer and die underneath bridges because it may bring them to God instead of them being able to get help. Such a sick and twisted mentality this guy has. It makes me dislike him even more. I may not like, heroin use and stuff, but I would so prefer people were to be able to get help to get off of it and not have to be underneath bridges and suffer, because I personally don't like people suffering. It makes me feel sad seeing other people suffer. But this guy, Uncle Ruckus, he enjoys suffering because he thinks that it will get them closer to God. And that kind of mentality is an extremely sick mentality. Oh, I just cannot stand that.
Rather than to keep him alive, to just suffer more, because the needle that they take away and give him fresh needles is causing him to lose his soul. But it's best that he suffer, so that, what you think is better, to save the soul and save the body and lose the soul, or save the soul and lose the body?
You can do both, you freaking moron. It's not just one or the other. But that's the problem with this black and white mentality, is that you think you can only do one. But if you save the person and their mind, then that means they can become a functioning member of society again, which is all what these people want. They just want to be able to be a functioning member of society. Nobody wants to be addicted to opioids or heroin and continually suffer throughout life. But this guy, Uncle Ruckus, that's all he wants to see. All he wants is people to suffer. And it's just sick and wrong.
Well, yeah, I'm mixed. I don't really. I've been thinking about it. That's why I brought it up.
Right,
I don't
no.
really have.
Yeah, it was best to let him suffer under the bridge rather than keep him alive to die later.
And do you agree with me that we need to do more in the country of the United States for like the big pharmaceutical companies from pushing out all these harmful opiates? Because I think that's a big source of the problem.
No, the problem is people in a fallen state. They've fallen away from God, and they're empty, and they're lonely, and they're sad, and they're depressed, and they're being deceived, and they're killing unborn children, and homosexuality, and lesbians, and prostitution, and all that crap is coming to the forefront.
Yeah, he just wants to blame the victims for problems that they have. I mean, he doesn't even accept the idea that people were prescribed the medication and got addicted to it. It's the fact that they're lesbians or in this fallen state, and that they're not Christian, that it's all their fault. Okay, so where is your God when these people are suffering, and this God, who is supposed to be all-knowing and all-loving, is just watching these people suffer? I mean, no loving being is just going to sit around and watch suffering happen when they can easily do something about it. I mean, shoot. If I was able to, if I was all-powerful and all-knowing, I would totally prevent all forms of suffering, and keep it from happening. Because if I was all-loving, I would not want to, watch the people that I loved go through suffering for no reason whatsoever.
People need to repent and be born again. Fathers and mothers need to raise their children in a perfect way, and that way the world can't use them for personal gain.
Well, yeah, I hear that. But you have these big pharma companies paying doctors to prescribe these.
I know, but if the people were not in a fallen state, they wouldn't be able to pay doctors and make money off people.
Wait, so if they were Christian, they would have no problems whatsoever and would not suffer any kind of disease that would need the use of some kind of powerful pain medication. This guy is crazy. What is he gonna do when he gets to be old and develops some kind of problem? Like maybe he he's 70, develops a hip fracture from falling or whatever. Is he going to just pray to God to be like, oh, my pain is so bad, God, come help me? Nah, he's going to use some form of pain medication. Or what? Is he going to believe that he's in a fallen state because he's in pain? Oh, these kinds of religious believers are just too sick, in my opinion. They have a twisted mentality. I mean, I'm fine with religious people, but when it gets to this point, that they're going to twist everything to make it seem like it's all about not believing in God, that is the problem, when there's actual real evidence to what is the problem. It's a mental disorder that they have developed themselves to make it seem like they're always the right ones, and that everything else is because of, not believing. It's extreme paranoia, part of it, and a bit of delusional beliefs.
Okay, I hear you. I'm just yeah.
That makes sense?
No, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I don't. Not everyone. There's too many people out there that are in a fallen state.
So let them suffer. Either they wake up or let them suffer and die. because only a few will find that straight and narrow path that leads to life. The rest would die, and that's okay.
No, it's not okay for people to be constantly ODing or to be constantly suffering for no reason whatsoever. This just shows how sick he is. You can't claim to love everybody and then take joy in the suffering of your fellow man. That's not love. That's hate and that's sickness. So all it is hate and sickness.
Okay, so how do you feel about this impeachment stuff that's about to start here?
It's a show. It's nothing. The Democrats are losers. They hate the president because he is a straight, white, conservative, Christian man of power.
No, that's not the case. People dislike Trump because he is a racist, misogynistic, POS who likes to make fun of disabled people and various other groups of people. But I can see why Jesse Lee Peterson would like that, because that is the kind of behavior that Jesse Lee Peterson exhibits, and that's the only type of behavior that he thinks is okay. To make fun of disabled people, to make fun of overweight people, to make fun of women, and anybody else that he sees to be lesser than he is. This guy is truly sick.
And they're about nothing but power, wealth for themselves. They're being exposed. They can't stop the man. They hate him because Satan is their daddy. So it's all a show. Don't pay attention to it. It means nothing.
Well, I'll pay attention to it, and I've heard the transcripts already. I know what they're going to say, but...
Yeah. Did you vote for the Great White Hope?
Jesse, I did not.
Beta!
Oh, because you don't vote the way I vote, you're a beta male. God. All he wants to do is insult people and spew hatred, and this is his way of trying to convince people that they should follow him, because, oh no, I'm being called a beta. That means I'm lesser than everybody, so I should follow this guy's mentality. Nah, I'm really liking the caller. He's actually, showing, in my opinion, he's kind of showing, how wrong Jesse Lee Peterson is. Mr. Uncle Ruckus. The impeachment may be a show, but Trump is a criminal. He has committed several crimes, gotten away with it. Dude, I bet Uncle Ruckus here would be one of the supporters that would still vote for Trump even if he actually shot someone right in front of him. I bet Trump could shoot Jesse Lee Peterson and he would still support him and call him Great White Hope. And this idea that it's Satan or the devil or whoever that is making people dislike Trump also shows a bit of a cult-like mentality that if you don't support Trump, you're an evil person, you're satanic or demon possessed, and it's a cult of personality that has been developed over him.
Why did you vote for him?
I have known the history of Donald Trump. I've never been a big fan.
Who did you vote for?
You know what? I'll be honest. I'll tell you, I never liked Hillary. I was never a fan. I'll be honest with that right now.
Who did you vote for?
But I voted for Hillary.
Wow. You need to be born again, man. You judging the president on the past as a Christian. You don't have a right to judge. And by judging the president, you voted for Satan's daughter. And you call yourself a Christian.
Satan's daughter? Really? Hillary is Satan's daughter. That's some extreme right there. Okay, I may not like Hillary myself, but I don't believe that she's this kind of, evil, demonic, evil incarnate that is there to, uh, seek the destruction of the United States or the world. But this shows, the religious cult mentality of people like Jesse Lee Peterson, because he's not the only one who, claims this kind of stuff. A lot of these extreme Christian conservatives, uh, believe that, anybody against Trump is evil and you have to support Trump no matter what he does. No matter what, Trump is good and perfect, and anybody who says otherwise is demonically possessed, or Satan's their father, or some other dumb bullshit.
Well, I believe it was
Kevin, I gotta run, but you sound like a nice guy. You need to forgive your mother and return to your father so you can wake up and be a real Christian.
Oh, it took him quite a while to blame the mother, for the problems. I thought he was going to do it early on, but usually he's, anytime you believe something other than what Uncle Ruckus believes, it's the fault of your mother for being a woman, and you gotta, follow everything your alpha dad has said. Wow.
to tell you that I'll call back in another day and we can really get into Donald Trump.
I'm already into him.
I mean,
Oh yeah, you're definitely into Donald Trump. There's a bit of a man crush there, in my opinion.
talk about him.
Already, but you can't. Okay, yeah, feel free to call. But have you forgiven your mother for screwing you up?
Yeah. Have you forgiven your mother for screwing you up? I mean, I don't understand. I don't understand how. Well, I guess because he's a Christian conservative, and those people tend to hate women to the extreme. I haven't. Dude, it feels like he's a bit of an incel. I mean, yeah, he had a relationship with a woman in the past and had some kids, but his mentality towards women is like that of an incel. Hate, that there is an extreme hate for a woman, and that women can do no right, and that their only purpose in life is to be broodmare and pregnant and, barefoot in the kitchen.
Well, I don't believe my mother screwed me up, but I've always had a healthy relationship with both my mother and my father.
Have you forgiven your mother for screwing you up, turning you away from your father?
And there we go. Again, he asked the same question, even though it was answered. The guy said he has a good relationship with both his mom and his father, but because of the way he thinks, his mom screwed him up and made him hate his dad. When he just said he has a good relationship with both.
A few times I did believe she was maybe acted as a negative influence. I did forgive her, yes.
You told her that?
Yes, sir.
And what did she say?
She didn't say anything.
What did you say to her?
Nothing.
When you went to your mother and forgave her for being a negative influence in your life?
Well, there was a couple, like three situations were specific situations. Overall, she was not a negative influence on me.
Did you go to her and forgive her for those three negative situations?
Yes.
You told her that?
Yes.
Okay, there's not going to be much more of this besides probably him trying to tell him that his mom's an evil person and that his dad is this perfect godly being. I'm kind of wondering if Jesse Lee Peterson is a bit of a homosexual, because he has the ideal that men are these somehow perfect beings and that women are always at fault. But because he grew up Christian and stuff, he cannot accept the idea of being homosexual. So he's developed a hate for women, and this weird love for men, especially white Christian men. But damn, this guy is just pure disgusting trash. All every time I listen to a video about him or from him, it's just more and more hate. Just vile, disgusting filth and trash that just is spewed from his mouth. Oh, I do hope he makes some kind of video about being, wanting to create some kind of white ethno-state, because that's going to be hilarious, and I will love watching that. But thanks for listening to my video. This is your host, Yoshi, with, a wandering atheist. If you enjoy the video, please like, share, and subscribe. If you dislike it, please comment below and spew some hate towards me, because that is quite funny.